Hi guys, welcome back to my channel Lush Gardener. So somebody had requested for a video on an update of what happened to those plants that were affected with insects. So I'm going to show you the first one. This one was the one that was affected with aphids and had used only cinnamon powder. This was the bloom that was affected at that point of time, and you can see it's grown very well. There's another bloom coming up. So right now I don't see any more aphids, even though it's almost at the stage of flowering. I don't see the aphids again. Apart from putting in the cinnamon powder around the flower stalk, I'd also put in some cinnamon powder in the soil, so looks like it's working out really well. The aphids have not come back on this one. This one is a little bit dehydrated, but this one was the one that was affected with mealybugs. I don't see the mealybugs again, but it's a little bit dehydrated. I will be watering it in some time. But again, on this plant as well, on this succulent as well, the mealybug attack hasn't happened. I had sprinkled some cinnamon powder on the crown area, cleaned it off, and then I had put in some cinnamon powder in the soil. But I will still add some more cinnamon powder in the soil just for precaution. This one was the one that was affected with powdery mildew, and I had sprayed some raw milk which was diluted in water. The powdery mildew has gone off. It's not come back. Probably there might be a very little of it, but that doesn't show any signs of progress. So the fungal attack has been contained and it is not affecting the other leaves. So the powdery mildew is also contained. I'm very happy. Now I can add this with the rest of my collection, but still, just for precaution, I'm going to keep it aside. It's kept in indirect bright light. That's why the leaves are a little bit discolored. They are not very well formed, not much of symmetry, but that's absolutely fine at this point of time. What was more important was to get rid of that powdery mildew, which has been successful. So now we can slowly start introducing it to morning direct sunlight, but probably I'll just wait for another couple of days and then start doing that process. And this one was the oldest one, which I had already purchased when it was not in a very good condition. But as I said, there was a recurring problem on the crown area. But ever since I started adding a little bit of cinnamon powder on the crown area, I don't see that web kind of a thing growing back again on the crown area, which is again a big relief. The succulent is doing quite well overall. I think I'll have to water all of them. But they are all doing quite well. So this one is also doing quite well. So pretty much everything has been taken care. The only thing that I have to do is I will be watering these three of them. This one I'm going to leave it as it is because you can see the leaves are a little bit open and I think it has water in its leaves, so I'm not going to be watering this one. But the rest of them, their leaves are closed inwards, especially this one, so I will be doing a top watering. So I might as well do it right now and show it to you. First, what I'm going to do is sprinkle some dry cinnamon powder on the upper layer of soil, because I do see a little bit of ants in and around the pot. So this is going to work like a precaution. I will also put it in the pot that had powdery mildew. Again, prevention is better than cure, but over here precaution is better than cure. So I'm going to be putting them in this pot as well. That's about it. And after this I will do my regular watering so that the cinnamon powder can also enter into the soil. So I'll carefully water it from the sides. Same thing with this one and this one as well. So water has started to pass through the drain hole. We are done with a complete watering. So this is something that I always tend to do. If the plant is affected with insects or if there is any fungal attack, I tend to keep a very close watch on those plants and I tend to give a little bit more care, especially adding of cinnamon powder, watering, so that everything looks perfect. So these are going to be kept aside. These three are getting a good amount of morning direct sunlight for 5 to 6 hours. This one is an indirect bright light, as I said. Probably after 3 or 4 days I will start moving it, but rest of them are doing quite well. This will start to open up probably after 24 to 48 hours of watering, because we have just done the watering. So everything looks fantastic, so we're going to keep it aside. So that was an update on these plants. Cinnamon powder does work. Cinnamon powder has to be done once in 3 weeks or once in 4 weeks with an interval, then it tends to work out. Of course, if you're going to add cinnamon powder once a year, you cannot expect things to work out. A lot of people tend to do it probably once in 6 months or once in a year, and they expect to have quick results. That's not how it tends to work. You have to do it on a regular basis, once in 3 weeks, once in 4 weeks. Either you can mix it in water and give it to the plants, or you can just sprinkle it on the upper layer of soil, because I know a lot of people have said that they have a lot of succulents and they're not able to do it. So the best thing is mix it in water and then give it to your plants. It will work out really well, because anyways you are going to be watering your succulents, so that is when you can also do it, because if it reaches into the roots, it's much better. A lot of times there can be pest in the roots, or there can be a fungal infection in the roots, and cinnamon powder is going to work on it. So that's about it. I hope that this video was helpful to you. If it was, please hit the like button, and if you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing to it. Until then, take care, stay safe, and keep propagating.